What's good, grind schoolers? It's your boy Rob, and I'm back with another video. Today we're not going to be in the shop, and I know I keep saying that, you know what I mean, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're not going to be in the shop today. We're going to go ahead and hop in the Camaro and go for a little drive today, and we're going to change this segment from Camaro Talk to Camaro Conversations. My homie Hawaii put me on that, you know what I'm saying, said I should change it, decided that, you know, it was a good idea, so we're gonna go ahead and run with it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all like it, get in the comment section and tell me what y'all think, you know what I mean? But anyway, without further ado, before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you get a notification every time we drop another video. And hey, if it ain't too much to ask, go ahead and share the video too, you know what I'm saying? Tell some friends or whatever. But anyways, I just want to get into the car and talk about, you know what I'm saying, like how I basically acquired the cars that I have, because somebody did ask me how much I paid for the Impala. So I kind of want to go into detail about all of that today, you know what I'm saying. It's not really a business vlog or whatever, but you know what I'm saying, it is, you know, about how basically I got, you know, the 3 cars that I have or whatever. So I just want to, you know, talk about that for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and you know, do something different. So let's go ahead, hop in the Camaro and go for a drive. Alright, grind schoolers, so like I said, this is gonna be Camaro Conversations, thanks to my homie Hawaii, who put me up on game to change the name to Camaro Conversations, because it has a little bit nicer of a ring to it. But anyways, you know what I'm saying, like I just wanted to get on here and speak to y'all about how I kind of acquired all the cars that I got. Each one of them kind of has a story behind it, you know what I mean, and how like they came to be. So the first car that I picked up was my Camaro. So I went ahead and grabbed, I mean not my Camaro, my El Camino. So I went ahead and grabbed my El Camino from a kid for about $500. I wasn't intentionally trying to go buy a car or whatever. Hold on. Sorry. You hear that supercharger whine? The amount of power in this damn thing is amazing, yo. For a 5th gen Camaro, this thing ain't too bad, you know what I'm saying? And there's so much more like on tap too. But anyways, so I acquired the El Camino in 2013, so about 7 years ago. I was just scrolling through Craigslist. And trying to see, you know, what I could find out there. And I wasn't like in the market for a car at the time. I didn't have nowhere to put it. I didn't have anywhere to store it. But I just decided to hit the guy up that posted the ad. He had it listed for $900, and I decided to say, hey, would you take $500? So it had a blown motor in it, and it needed a motor and transmission, all that type of stuff, but I just said, hey, would you take $500 for it? It ended up being a high school kid, and he said, yeah, sure. So I went to go pick up the car. My mom back then didn't want me to be buying all these cars and stuff like that, so I couldn't keep it at my house. But luckily my homies, they had a 2-car garage, and I was able to store the car in their garage until I was able to build a motor for it. So a little bit of backstory about the El Camino. It does have a new motor in it. It's a 355. It's bore 30 over, 350, bore 30 over, whatever. My dad and I did build that motor from scratch. We built, like, put all the pistons together, everything like that. I actually built the heads myself. I didn't buy out of the box ready to go heads. I had to put all the valve springs and all that stuff in there myself. So me and my dad actually built the motor. And for this next build on this LS for the El Camino, I'm gonna have a professional do it, just because I'm gonna throw a lot of power into that motor, and I think that it would be more beneficial for somebody else to get it right with all the clearances and everything that needs to go into it and all the science behind it. So anyways, I ended up picking up the El Camino over the next year and a half after I picked it up. I built it, me and my dad put it together. And we built a decent car, you know what I mean? We built a decent car. I know it doesn't look halfway decent because it's never been painted or anything like that. I've never gotten to that point, just because I started messing with different cars and started, you know, switching them out and doing stuff like that. And I not that I lost interest, it's just that the El Camino is gonna take a lot more to get it to a state where it could be running and driving like flawlessly, right? So anyways, that's how I acquired the El Camino. And then next came the Camaro, and I had other cars like in between and stuff like that, but nothing to like really, you know, kind of talk about. But then next came the Camaro. Now the Camaro is interesting because I initially went to look for a Challenger. I was looking for a Challenger and I found a Challenger TA. And the only reason why I was looking for a Challenger was because the Challengers have a bigger back seat for a kid, and I had a kid on the way. So here in Colorado, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, if you have a toy, you have to have a daily driver as well, because it snows and you can't drive your toys out here year round. It just doesn't work that way. So anyways, I found a TA Challenger. It was like that acid green or whatever color that is, that highlighter green, yellow color, and I didn't know that it was me. It was my style. But I did find out that I was able to purchase a car in that price range, and so you know, I knew that I could handle the payment. I knew that it would be good for me or whatever, but it kind of didn't make sense to get a Challenger TA, considering that the Hellcats were out, and you know, I would have wanted to immediately switch it out for a Hellcat immediately. So I was like, okay, well, nah, I don't think I want to get the Challenger, you know what I mean, unless it's something substantial. So anyways, I did, you know, kind of consider the Charger RT all-wheel drive Charger, just because of the simple fact that I could drive in the snow. It's 4 doors, you know, I could have my baby and everything like that. But there again, the dilemma was, once again, I would have wanted more power. I knew that I would have wanted more power. So anyways, long story short, I drove a Charger RT. It was not powerful enough at all. It was pretty slow, actually. So I knew that I wasn't trying to rock with the Challenger or the Charger. So then I started to think about, hey, I've always wanted a 5th gen Camaro, like the early 5th gen with the quad lights like how I have right now. I always wanted a Camaro, so I started looking at Camaros, and Camaro actually was cheaper than the Challenger. So I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and try to see if I can find a good Camaro. So I was searching, and there was a few Camaros that I could have gotten, but they just didn't fit the bill for whatever reason. They just weren't the right price, or it wasn't the right color or something like that. And I stumbled upon the Camaro that I have now, and I knew that it was basically love at first sight when I first got it, because when they posted the listing, they just posted a picture of the boost gauge. So right then and there I knew, like, okay, well, it's got to be a turbocharged. It's got to be turbocharged. It's got to be supercharged or procharged or something. One of them. It's got to be one of them. If they're posting a picture of a boost gauge, obviously they posted more pictures of the car, but they didn't post the engine bay. So I knew that the car was boosted. Also, too, the car only had 28,000 miles on it, and it was cheaper than the Challenger. So I was like, okay, well, if it's cheaper than the Challenger, I know I can afford it, and I know that the car has a lot of power in it. So I ended up going to look at the car, and to my surprise, it had an Edelbrock supercharger on it, already installed. Everything was good. I told the guy, I don't care what you got to do, make it happen. Make it happen. I need this car. I have been wanting a 5th gen for quite a while, you know what I mean. I had wanted a 5th gen since they first came out. It was one of my dream cars, and obviously more stuff has come out since then that is a lot faster or whatever, but since my car was supercharged, I already knew that, you know, that part of the battle was done. So now all I got to do is do more supporting mods and make it even faster. But anyways, I was able to get the Camaro, and you know what I'm saying, it's been a joy having this car since I've gotten it. You know what I mean? I've done my little touches to it. I've made it a little bit faster and stuff like that, and I have a lot bigger plans with this car as well. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, like, it's just gonna take time until this car is really built the way I want it to be built. So that's how I acquired the Camaro. Like I said, it's been a joy since I've had this car. I really enjoy it. You know, I don't think I would get rid of it, but hey, you know what I mean, depending on the price, you know, it could be for sale one day, I'll say one day. And then lastly, I picked up the Impala. I got the Impala at auction. So my initial goal for trying to flip cars didn't really last very long. You know, that was what I set out to do. So I bought the Tahoe that I had, and I bought that car at auction, and I ended up keeping it because I was like, okay, well, I need to have a snow vehicle. I need to have something that I can transfer large items if I need to go somewhere or whatever, right? I need something I can tow in and do all that kind of stuff. So I ended up keeping the Tahoe, but then I was going to try to flip vehicles, and the Impala popped up, and it just so happened that the Impala was in Colorado. So the Impala was salvage title, it was in a wreck or whatever, but I knew that the wreck wasn't that bad based on the Carfax history report, and also by kind of looking at some of the photos. You can kind of tell that there wasn't too much damage done to the car at all. The fenders were messed up, the front bumper cover was messed up, but other than that, you know, you could tell that the car was in good condition by the interior photos and stuff like that. So I decided to take a chance, and I was able to pick the Impala up for $1,500. I was able to pick the Impala up for $1,500, and you know, it's proven to be a good purchase. I mean, it does need a little bit of work, which, hey, that's more content, but at the end of the day, you know, I can't beat an Impala for $1,500 because I was initially looking at adding an Impala to my fleet of cars, you know what I'm saying? But all the Impalas that I was looking at were all super expensive, like $10,000 plus, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather go get another builder car than get an Impala for 10 grand plus or whatever. So yeah, so long story short, man, that's how I ended up acquiring the cars that I have. And you know, previously, before this time, I've always had different cars, and I've never been able to keep them. I've always been, you know, too antsy, and you know, see something else that I like and get rid of it in 6 months, and you know, flip-flop everything. So these cars that I have now have been the longest I've ever kept cars in my life. The El Camino has been, you know, with me for 7 years. That's the longest car I've ever kept. This Camaro has been with me for almost 3 years now. And again, this is one of the longest cars I've ever kept. And I've had the Impala for only a year now. But I plan to keep these cars probably for life. The only one I could say that I might switch out is the Camaro. The Camaro might go one day, depending on the situation. Like I said, it was my dream car at one point, and it still kind of is my dream car. However, there's a lot of cool cars out there, you know what I mean? And for the right price and for the right car that comes around, I might switch this car out, you know what I mean? Either for something like a ZL1, like a 2020 ZL1, or you know, a Corvette Z06 or something like that. Those are the only cars that I'm like really interested in. like trading this car in to get something different. But anyways, that's down the road, man. I just wanted to talk to y'all and chop it for a second, you know what I'm saying, and tell y'all how I acquired my cars, because like I said, somebody did ask me how much I paid for the Impala, and you know, I thought it would be a cool video to tell you guys how the cars that are on the channel came to be, you know what I mean, a little backstory about how they ended up in my life. But anyways, man, we're gonna go ahead and keep continuing on this drive, and you know, I hope y'all enjoy Camaro Conversations. Alright y'all, so I was trying to go to the top, but it looks like they got it all blocked off or whatever. I wanted to obviously get some shots of the car and the city in the background. This is a parking garage at one of the colleges out here in Denver, and then there go the Pepsi Center right there. At the top of the parking garage you can see the city, and obviously I wanted to get some shots of the car, but I guess that's gonna do it for this video. Like I said, I wanted to get some better shots, probably throw the drone up in the sky, but looks like they got it blocked off. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed, and like I said, I thank every one of you guys for subscribing. I just hit 400. It may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot to me, you know what I mean, and it means the world to me that you guys are supporting the channel, you know what I mean. So thank you so much. Keep the vibes going, and yo, always remember, work hard so you can live free.